Greetings everyone, my name is Calvin, and recently I've been working on creating a new franchise called the Omniscient Verse. Currently I'm in the making of writing the main story known as Eclectic Ascension. This is the audiobook for Eclectic Ascension. There are more stories to come, but for now this is Chapter 1, Episode 4. Enjoy! What's happening? Edmund's eyes open and close as if waking from a long slumber. Yet when his eyes open, it's as dark as if they were closed.
Greetings, Edmin Knight.
Edmund hears a disembodied voice. What's going on? I can't see anything. A ball of light, almost as bright as the sun, appears in front of Edmund. Blinding at first, it dims to reveal a man.
I've seen many stories of death in my day. However, yours intrigues me.
With the light less bright, Edmund looks around to see the strange man, the orb of light, and the planet Avara, the very same planet where Edmund derives from. What is this place? Edmund asked while staring into the abyss that once blinded him. The strange man takes a step back and begins to explain.
Well, you humans have courtrooms and judicial systems. You could say this is purgatory for the afterlife, where the choices you made before death found you shall affect where they lead you next.
Edmund, with more burning questions than answers, asks, And who are you? The strange man grins and says,
I am the one who observes. I am the one who decides. This is my courtroom, and I am the judge.
Edmund now only has one question on his mind. So what happened to me on the bench was me failing to hold on to life? The judge continues to stare at Edmund.
Unfortunately, yes.
Edmund shakes his head while taking a few steps back. This could just be a dream. Maybe I'm asleep on the bench and maybe I'll soon wake up. The judge, with his intense stare still locked on Edmund, exclaims,
I'm afraid not. And the sooner you come to terms with your passing, the easier this process will become. For the both of us.
Edmund falls to his knees, and with shock in his voice, he says, That can't be right. I can't believe it. The judge kneels down in front of Edmund and places his hand on his shoulder.
Don't you know that belief is a doubt?
Edmund looks up at the judge with the eyes of a broken man. Then, what is to become of me? The judge stands and holds his hand out towards Edmund and says,
Let's find out.
Edmund grabs hold of the judge's hand and pulls himself up. Edmund looks over at the judge. So how does this work then? The judge and Edmund start walking towards the planet Avara, floating in the distance.
We are going to take a trip down memory lane.
Edmund, now confused, stops and looks at the judge. Meaning what exactly? The judge looks over at Edmund.
Exactly what I said. Much like I said earlier, I observe, decide, and send. However, in order for me to do the second and the latter, I must first observe. To be specific, I need to see the life you lived.
After the judge had explained the process to Edmund, he agrees, and they both walk towards the planet Avara mentioned before. As Edmund and the judge take a step forward, the orb of light glows brighter, and they are both torn through space onto the planet Avara. The scene moves over the humble and modest house Edmund once called home. A stranger approaches the front door. Edmund opens the door and greets the stranger. Greetings, Araya. To what do I owe the pleasure? Araya, an old childhood friend of Edmund, with excitement practically pouring out of her, asks,
So, you are alive. Did you even read the letter I sent you?
I'm sorry, old friend. I haven't gotten around to it, Edmund exclaims.
Haven't gotten around to it? I sent it a week ago.
Araya says with a jest in her tone. My apologies. But since you're here, why don't you come in and you can tell me what the letter says over a beverage? Araya agreed and they both stepped inside. Would you care for some tea? Edmund offers politely.
If you still make tea as well as you used to, you know I shan't refuse.
Edmin learned how to make rich tea from his mother, who was a tea sommelier for the royal court of Sentia. He prepares the tea in the vintage silver tea set that once belonged to his mother. Placing everything on the tray, Edmund carries it over to the living room where Araya has made herself comfortable on Edmund's favorite chair. He places the tray down on the table and takes a seat. So tell me, what of this letter you sent? Araya smiles and says,
I'm hosting a gathering at my house and have been eagerly awaiting to hear if my dear old friend might join. However, waiting for you to respond is like waiting for hell to freeze over.
Araya says while she's looking at Edmund with a smirk. Edmund, pouring the tea into the beautifully handcrafted cup, says, I see you've not lost your whimsical nature, and as happy as I am to see you, you know I detest crowds. Handing over the cup of tea to Araya, Edmund slides the sugar cube tray over to her.
There was a time when you would banter back. I know that gatherings are not something you enjoy, but I would love to have you there. I miss the days when you and I were out and about, you and me against the world.
Before Edmund could say another word, everything around him comes to a complete standstill. Araya is frozen in place, as well as the fireplace. A disembodied voice is heard.
Hold on a second.
The judge appears on the couch next to Edmund and starts to make himself a cup of tea while asking,
You have become distant towards your loved ones. Why?
Edmund slides the sugar cube tray over to the judge and says, As time passes, people change. After a while, the festivities started to be more of a way to partake in the pleasures of life rather than a fun experience. The judge reaches over and scoops 2 sugar cubes and places them in his cup of tea. He then proceeds to slowly stir his tea and take a sip.
This tea is miraculous. When we're done, you need to tell me how you make it.
There's no use I gatekeep the recipe. I'm dead anyway. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed today's story. And if you're liking the story so far, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in keeping up with the Omniscient Verse, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss an episode. Until next we meet, stay safe and farewell.